Hey guys, what is going on? So, I've got a new little video here for you guys, and it's going to be, should you get a tune or a programmer for your vehicle? Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I get a lot of questions about people asking me what the gas, how I get decent gas mileage in my truck with the exhaust leak, and how the truck is so fast back when I used to race it all the time, and just the general reliability and fuel economy basically of how these things work. Now, I have never had a tune, like a full-on laptop tune. With my next truck that I get, if I get a Ford or a GM vehicle, I plan on getting a laptop tune, just to kind of get away from having to change my tunes every time I want to change fuel in the truck. Like if I want to go from 87 to 91 octane or 93 octane, I have to change my tune for it on the programmer, which is no big deal. It don't take probably 4 or 5 minutes. You can actually do it while you're putting fuel in your vehicle. Diesels don't have this problem because they only have one fuel, diesel, obviously. So what I'm going to go over is, should you buy it, or should you spend the money to get a tune and everything like that? Now, I think you should. I have gotten a lot of, for one, enjoyment out of the programmer that I have. In a sense, they pay for themselves in time with the fuel that you can save depending on which tune you put on, obviously. And you could almost put on any tune and save at least a little bit of fuel. Like, it gets a little bit better gas mileage in 87 octane. I got a really bad exhaust leak on the exhaust manifold, which without the tune probably get about 11 miles a gallon on the highway, maybe 12. With 87 octane, I get about 14 and a half. Between 14.3 and 14 and a half is about what I get on the highway. Now, with 93 performance on a long haul, like going from here to Springfield last year whenever we went bowling, I averaged, and that's average, I averaged 17.63 was what it added up to after I put gas in the truck when we got back to Dexter. So it get better gas mileage on the higher octane fuel than it did the lower octane. I understand 93 is around here is at least 20 cents higher than 87 is. 91 octane is 50 cents higher here. So I don't know where it is, more east or west or south or anything like that, because we're in the boot heel of Missouri, was basically almost dead center in the United States. So with the pros and cons of these things, like I said, the cons for the programmer would be every time you want to change tunes, or every time you want to change fuel, you have to change your tune, for the most part. Now, if you're running 91 performance and you want to go to mileage saver plus or whatever, you have to run 91 octane or better fuel, so you don't have to change your fuel. You could just change the tune if you wanted to. But like I said, if you wanted to go from 87 octane to 91 or 93 performance tune, then you have to change fuels accordingly. Otherwise, it could make your engine knock or not run right or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I know on my old GMC I had, if you were running 87 fuel and you put 91 in it, or if you were running 87 and you put 91 performance tune on it, it would knock, and the same vice versa. I haven't done that with my Titan, so I don't really know, but I assume it would probably do the same. I'm not sure. Alright, and now we pretty much covered the programmer with the pros and cons. I mean, they pay for itself in time, as does the tune probably. So if you want to get the programmer, I mean, you can go ahead because you can tune it whenever you feel like. You don't have to take it to your tuner guy or whatever, whoever you go to have your vehicle retuned every time you want a different tune, a more aggressive tune or less aggressive or whatever the case may be. So in that sense, it's good, which is what I needed at the time. And well, it's a little bit better. You can kind of do it whenever you feel like, instead of having to up and spend a lot of money or spend extra money to have your vehicle retuned and the gas to drive over there to get it retuned. So with that being said, we're on to the laptop tune. Now, I don't want to make it sound like I'm throwing out a bunch of cons about the laptop tune. I tried to get a laptop tune, and the guy that I want to go to does not have a system that supports imports. So yeah, that was kind of a letdown, but I figure whenever I get another American vehicle, like I said, GM or Ford, then I will go to him and I will get a laptop tune. Anything 96 or newer is what I've been told for a few years now. So with that being said, guys, the laptop tune you can squeeze out more power and torque with the laptop tune if you want, like if you have a pickup truck and you want to haul more weight or if you want to haul weight but you want to have a little bit more power, like going up hills and get a little bit better fuel economy, maybe, then you can go and get you a laptop tune. And a lot of them guys can go in there and they can change a lot of stuff that programmers can't change, like they can go in there, they can change when, depending on how new your vehicle is, they could, if you got a dang near brand new vehicle, I've heard they can change up to when your thermostat opens and closes and make it where it runs cooler. Can change stuff like when you're, if you have a clutch fan, they can change when it starts to spin to cool your vehicle down faster, or even on the vehicles that do have it. Now, I do know some programmers will do that too, but I've only heard of one vehicle that's done that. But then again, I don't know a lot of people that have programmers anymore because most people are getting laptop tunes. So with that, so the laptop tune can, as we have figured out, can tune or change a lot more stuff. And I mean, the two things I mentioned are just, they're two things of the many things that I've heard people talk about with laptop tunes that made me actually want to go out and get one. Now, see, like these guys that back when I used to race my pickup truck all the time, which is ignorant, but it was fun, and everybody was just so surprised at how good that truck ran, only having a cold air intake and exhaust, but not like full-on exhaust, like I have now anyway, non-restrictive exhaust, and a programmer. Everybody was so surprised that I was keeping up with all these guys that had laptop tunes on for the most part. Now, these guys were, the laptop tune, my programmer was only forking out about an extra probably 30 or 40 horse out of the motor, and probably 50 or 60 torque, which is good. It's very good, actually. It was just enough to get it better fuel economy, which is what I originally bought it for, and it was keeping up with these guys. But these guys, granted, a lot of the people that I would race and beat would have oversized tires, where I had stock size tires, or 285s were just a little bit bigger, and these guys were running 33 1250 20s, which the tire is pretty heavy by itself, and a 20-inch wheel is obviously heavier than my little 17s. And some of them are even, one guy I knew before he got his truck cammed had a 6-inch lift on it, a Chevrolet pickup, 6-inch lift, 35 1250 20s, Dixie Peck Fun Countries, which are a very heavy tire in themselves, because I had some on my truck, and the wheels are XD series wheels, which are generally pretty heavy wheels, but they look good. And he had a Dynapro, I think it was, he said Dynapro or Dynamax or something like that, exhaust on it. Sounded wonderful. Cold air intake, and a laptop tune. And his truck, as soon as it would hit second gear, would bark a tire on them 33 1250s. So obviously his laptop tune gave him more power than my programmer gave me. And he said that it actually helped out with his gas mileage as well. With it being lifted, with it being lifted, he doesn't. He probably gets, I think he said 16, 17 miles to the gallon with the tune, and now cam. But that was before he had the cam. He was probably getting anywhere from 15 to 17 miles per gallon with a 6-inch lift at 35s, which is good. It's very good, because that's easily what I get. And I have stock size tires right now. I get a little bit better with 285s because it covers more ground, and I can go over all that stuff in a later video. But so, should you buy it? A tune, I'll just say tune, as it'll cover programmer and a laptop tune. So should you buy it? A tune? I say yes. So, like I said, I say yes. All the fun you can have with it, eventually they pay for themselves. They get better gas mileage. It's just, that's really only three positives, really. But it's one of them things you have to experience and not listen to someone talk about for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, however long this video is. So, if you're debating on getting a tune, go ahead and try it. Every tune guy is different. Every laptop is different. Every system is different, for the most part. And same with programmers. There's so many different programmers out there. So it's just preference. It's gonna be one of those things where you don't want to get the cheapest one. You know what I mean? If you're gonna get a programmer, you want to get a tunable programmer. It's got all the buttons on it, and you can choose what you want. You don't want a plug and play where you just plug it into your OBD2, it downloads something, and then that's the end of it. You don't want that. I understand they're the cheapest because I've never heard of those working. So if you've got one and it works, great, good for you. But I've never heard of it. But I'm not gonna say that they're bad because I've never dealt with one before. So with that being said, guys, that's gonna do it for this upload. If you did enjoy the video, please like it. Consider subscribing too. We've got some new subscribers in here now, and I just want to keep you guys around. You're the reason why I do this, so we're all going to become one big family. And please make sure you hit the bell for notifications too, that way you get notified every time I upload. And with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next upload.